I've always been fascinated with iron as a material. During my journeyman years, I traveled around the world and learned all kinds of techniques. In 1991, I came to Santa Fe and never left. That is when I started my company, Iron to Live With. Forging is a transformation of shape while the iron is hot and somewhat soft. You only have a few seconds to work the hot metal, and so you have to prepare yourself for that moment. I remember my first years of trying to do blacksmithing, and there were all these nice books, and I thought, oh yeah, I know how to do welding, and I know how to heat the iron. I can probably learn it from a book. And I couldn't figure out why it didn't work. I mean, it did work, but it didn't flow. And then so I went into apprenticeship with a guy in Switzerland, with Gustav Friedrich, and I realized if you really want to move the iron, you have to move it while it's hot. And then things started moving around. I learned welding first, but then I've always been fascinated in going back in time and tried to acquire the techniques of working metal that were used before the Industrial Revolution. First I was naive about it and actually pretty shocked once I found out what kind of effort is involved and how much you have to slow down. But it is actually really fun to see something grow slowly under your hands. I'm going to turn it into an S shape. After curving it, I'll be forging it out first on the big, heavy cast iron hammer, widening the S shapes of the curve. And then I'll take it over to the other hammer with a plowshare dies to spread it out into like a fan type movement. It's a modern shape where I can use the different blacksmithing techniques that are possible with the big equipment, with this press, with the other H-frame press, and then the heavy hammer and the lighter hammer, and it's a purely forged shape. The idea of this was to create like a free sculptural shape that could be used to create a room divider or a space divider for Cloudcliff Bakery, to separate the courtyard area where people can sit and have lunch. Like blinds on a window. It's a little bit open to one side, and to the other side you don't see directly the cars driving by. Some things are better to do with the coal forge. The coal forge is a different kind of heat. It's more concentrated and hotter. I think this is getting hot enough to where I can hammer it. the big equipment allows me to make a statement on a larger scale without spending an exorbitant amount of time. I mean, that wall at Cloudcliff, it did take pretty much 160 hours of straight forge work with the heavy equipment. So it's still a lot of time, but it's if you did that, if you tried to get that density with traditional work, you'd be looking at years of work to enclose it.